I found 25 new village seeds that may just be the one you use for your next 2-week Minecraft phase. You'll see a couple cherry grove seeds, a lake village, a couple island villages, and much more. Let's find out if one of them is the one you decide to use for your next world. This cherry grove circle village seed just looks incredible. You spawn into the world in this little forest biome below some elevated terrain, and you can see a waterside village nearby. There's also a floating ruined portal here right outside of the cherry grove. And of course, the cherry grove area just looks awesome. I always like a great lake village like this, so having this one in the middle of a cherry grove is just incredible. As a reminder, I play on Java Edition. Seeds on Java Edition and Bedrock Edition have the same terrain, but you'll likely only find the structures like the villages on Java Edition. Having this area near spawn is just awesome, just such a great Minecraft seed. This comment said they were looking for a plains village seed with a shipwreck on the edge of it. I have this seed that might work for that. You get the nice plains biome, and the village has an armorer's house, Fletcher's house, temple, and blacksmith. There's also the slightly sunken shipwreck here on the edge of the village. Overall, a pretty cool looking place to spawn into a world. If you like this seed, be sure to stay tuned because later in the video, I have a Taiga village shipwreck seed too. Spawning into a world right next to this is pretty cool. We get a lake with 2 villages around it. This village here and this village here. A lot of times when I find these, I have to travel even just 100 blocks to get to it, but in this one I spawned right on the edge of the lake. So that's just a seed that I was pretty happy to find. And if you're wondering how I found this seed, I'll have a tutorial for my channel members. Go ahead and click the join button below to learn all about that. Let's take a quick look at a simple plains village here. The plains biome is really big with some hills, but lots of really flat terrain too for some easy building. We get a little ravine running into the village, we get a temple, cartographer's house, tannery, and blacksmith. Just a nice option for a basic plains village seed. I like to show all the village types in these videos, so here's a taiga village. Along with the big taiga at spawn, we get a snowy taiga and some snowy plains. We also get a ruined portal that generates in the village, along with lots of village buildings, including 2 blacksmiths. I actually found 6 diamonds in them. Just a really great option for a taiga village seed. I found this little island village seed here, and it looks nearly perfect. Just a tiny plains and beach island, and some of the village in the water. Really doesn't get much better than this. Island villages are always one of my favorite types of seeds to find, and one of my favorite places to spawn in Minecraft. When I showed a flower forest mountain circle seed recently, I got this comment saying they wish there was also a village in the middle, so I figured that would be a great seed to find. This one has the jagged peaks all around an area with about half flower forest and half plains. We also get the village here, of course. I really like how we get this little underground area with a couple buildings. So there you go, a mountain circle seed with a flower forest and village. We have a desert temple village seed here. These have always been a favorite of mine to look for. The desert temple just fits right in with the village, and I like the look of the mesa in the distance too. Yeah, always great to find a seed like this. This comment asked if I have any seeds with a stronghold under a spawn village. This seed here has a spawn in a savanna village, and there's a mesa over there with another village. And really, this is just what you expect an oceanside savanna seed to look like. Of course, right underneath the village is the stronghold. As I always do with these, I've given you the coordinates to the portal room. This really is just such a convenient place for the stronghold. Ruined portal villages are a staple of my village seeds videos. I just think the giant ruined portal being a part of the village looks really cool. You could create some interesting lore for why it's been ruined, or repair it to use for yourself. As is the case with any seed, there's endless possibilities. This mountain circle seed is really cool. You spawn into the world right outside of the mountains in a birch forest. When you go into the middle of the mountains, you'll quickly find a ruined portal in the meadow, a village in the meadow and on the mountainside, and a woodland mansion in a pale garden. Of course, all surrounded by those jagged peaks. It's just really cool having all of that in the middle of the mountains. If you want a snowy seed, this is a pretty good option. Of course, we get the village, but there's also an igloo here. The stone bricks pretty clearly show that there's a ladder down to the basement of this igloo too. So there's an igloo village seed if you may be looking for one. If you want an easy place to see every seed I show with coordinates and screenshots, be sure to check out my blog. Go ahead and click the link in the description or pinned comment to see it. This comment asked about finding a village alongside a cliffside. I've shown tons of cliffside village seeds, and here's one more for you. The cliffs just look awesome alone, but add in the village and it gets even better. Then add in a shipwreck conflicting with the village and it looks a bit crazy. Throw in a ruined portal and it just looks awesome. Just some really nice Minecraft world generation here. Here's a double village seed that really just looks like one big village. The paths don't actually connect, but with the river here, it does just make them look like one village. I think it's a pretty cool seed. The spawn of this seed is really cool. We get the village here, and it's in a big plains biome. The village has a tannery, library, and blacksmith, and there's another village in the distance over there. But my favorite part is this big dripstone cave next to the village with a mineshaft. It looks really cool hanging right below the village, and this part just floating like this is pretty sick too. Just a really unique looking area. I found this mountain circle seed here that I think looks pretty cool. We get some frozen peaks forming the ring shape, and we get a hillside meadow village in the middle. There's also a pale garden that takes up a bunch of the middle area, and a birch forest too. I just really like the combination of the pale garden and village. Yeah man, just a really cool looking spawn area. I'm probably more showing this seed for the shipwreck than the village, but that's not to say a frozen cliff village seed isn't cool in itself. But having a shipwreck on an iceberg like this is really cool. Just a really cool looking area to spawn into a new world. Here's another shipwreck village seed for you. Clearly this one is a taiga village and it has a forest and taiga in the background of it. The shipwreck being partly submerged with the path running through it looks really cool. Shipwreck villages are always a personal favorite of mine. This is one of the more interesting Minecraft seeds I've found in a while. You spawn here in a desert next to an ocean, and you can see some windswept terrain nearby. If you go north, just past some desert hills, you can stop here at a desert temple and then end up at the lake. This village just being one path is really cool, and villages always just look awesome floating too. I really like seeing the Badlands behind the lake too. This just looks really awesome all around. If you want blacksmith villages, this seed has 3 of them. We get the first village that we spawn in here with this blacksmith loot. We get the second village here with this blacksmith loot, and we get the third village here with this blacksmith loot. There's also a pillager outpost here if you want it for whatever reason. So yeah, 3 blacksmith villages around spawn. I always like finding these one path village seeds, and I actually get asked about finding them pretty often. Just ignore these little offset paths at the end and consider this a full straight line village. It's actually pretty cool having all the buildings and stuff in one straight line. I mean, it's pretty simple, but I'm still happy to find this one. I do a lot of Minecraft seed searches for villages and biomes they're not supposed to be in. A lot of times, that's a village in a mesa biome. The eroded Badlands being next to this one just looks awesome, as does this building being right next to one of the spikes. I also really like this ravine cutting into the village here too. Just a really unique looking village here. I got asked if I could find a village in Ruined Portal Island seed. This one here is pretty cool. We get a small stony shores and plains island. It's just a rocky island with buildings all across it. A couple of the buildings are even in a little cave area here too. The ruined portal is right up against the side of a house, so hopefully that works out for what the comment was looking for. This lake village seed looks really cool. We spawn into the world in a forest here near an ocean. Following along the coastline through the forest and birch forest brings us to the lake. I find a lot of lake village seeds, but this is the first time the lake is shaped like this one. I think it looks pretty interesting. As always, I like the look of floating villages like this too, and this one has quite a few buildings. Overall, some pretty awesome looking terrain generation. This Cherry Grove ring area looks really cool, and it's really close to the spawn of this seed. You spawn here in a meadow, and just over east you can find this meadow hillside village. The Cherry Grove is right across the valley, and there's a dripstone cave opening that opens up right to the middle area of the Cherry Grove. The lake in the middle of this one is just huge, and a lot of this village here generates floating on it. There's so many possibilities with an area like this, and it just looks absolutely incredible. For more incredible Minecraft seeds, check out one of the videos on screen now. Thanks for watching. I'm out of here. See ya.